Hello everyone, how you doing? In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how you can create these dynamic platforms that you can decide where it starts, where it ends, and of course the speed of the movement. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't lose any new tutorial. So let's start. To make this, I created a third-person template so I can show you how you can create the platforms. So I want each platform to have some preview meshes to show where it will start and where it will end. For that, let's create some materials. So here in the content, I'm gonna right-click and create a new folder for materials. And then inside this folder, let's create a new one for the platform. Okay, let's open these and create the first material. First, let's create the start position material. So just right click, create a material. Let's call this M platform start. Then let's open this. Let me dock here. This material will be really simple. So first, let's change the blend mode from opaque to translucent because I want this material to have some opacity. Now let's add a base color. So I'm gonna add just a simple color for that. So let's add a vector 3. You can do that by holding 3 on the keyboard and left click. Then you have a vector 3 here. Let's put all the values here into the base color and let's define a color for this. So for the start position, I'm gonna make this green. So let's just make it green, hit OK. And there we go, we have a green sphere here. And for the opacity, I wanna make this half opacity. So let's add a constant value here. To do this, just hold 1 on the keyboard and left click. And you have a constant value here. Let's put 0.5 and connect this into the opacity, and we have this translucent material. Let's apply and save, and let's come back here. So for the end position, I'm gonna do the same. So let's copy this, just select it and hit Ctrl D to duplicate, and I'm gonna call this end. So M platform end. Let's open this. And for the end, I'm just going to change the color here to a red one. Let's change it. And there we go. We have the 2 materials that we need. Now we can start creating the platform blueprint. So let's do that. Let's go to content here and create a new folder for blueprints. And inside this folder, let's create a new actor blueprint. So let's right click, go to blueprint class and actor. Let's name this BP platform and let's open. Let me dock this right here and let's close these materials. So first, let's add the model here. So if you do have a platform model, you can add here, but for that I'm just gonna use a cube. So here I'm gonna add a cube static mesh, SM cube, and let's just change the scale here to be more like a platform. Let me disable the snapping here to make it more thin, like this. There we go. And this will be the main platform, the platform that we're gonna interact with. So I'm gonna leave it as white. So I'm gonna duplicate this one, so just select and Ctrl D, and I'm gonna name this start pos. This will be the start position. Then let's move it a little bit back, like 1,000 units, like this. As you can see, 1,000 units. And this will be the start position. So I'm gonna change the material to that material that we created. So here in the materials, let's click this and select the M platform start, like this. Then let's duplicate again this cube to make the end position. So let's name it end pause, and let's move it 1000 units forward, like this. And let's change the material to the end one. There we go. Let's compile and save. And if I put this in the Word now, this blueprint, you will see that we do have the platform here in the center and a start position and an end position here. Let me move this a little bit to up here. But if we hit play now, you can see, let me do this in a new window. There we go. You can see that we do have the platform here, but we are seeing the previews too, and they have collisions. And we don't want that. We don't want the player to see these previews. To fix that, let's come back to the blueprint here. Let's select the end pause, for example. Then we need to go down here to rendering, and let's enable this option, hidden in game. This will prevent the player to see this in the game. And to solve the collision issue, we can go here to collisions, and here in the collision preset, let's change this to no collision. So let's do the same for the start pause. So in the collision preset, let's change to no collision and hidden in game. Let's compile and save. And now we can see the previews in the editor, but if we hit play, we are not seeing this. That's what we want, and we don't have collisions. As you can see, we are not colliding, but we can collide with this. Okay, now we can create the logic for the platform. So let's go back to the platform blueprint and let's go to the event graph. I'm gonna do this in the begin play because we don't need to do this in the tick. So let's just delete these two events here. So first, what I want to do, I want to make the platform, the main one, to be at the start position. So for that, let's grab a reference to the start position here. Let's drag it into the graph. And from this one, I want to get the world location of the start position. So let's drag here and type get world location. There we go. Now we have this location here, so we can grab the platform that is this cube here. Let's grab a reference for that, and now we need to set the world location of this cube. So let's drag here and type set world location. There we go. Let's connect the execution flow here to the set world location, and the new location will be the start position. Let's do this. There we go. If we compile and save now and go back here, as you can see, the platform is in the middle, but if we hit play, the platform goes to the start position. That's what we want. So now let's create the movement. So to do the movement, I want to create a timeline. So to do that, let's drag the spin here and type add timeline. There we go. I'm gonna name this platform movement timeline. So the timeline is a component. So as you can see here in the components, we have the timeline here, platform movement timeline. So you can get a reference for that anywhere in the code here, and we're gonna use this later. So let's for now open this platform timeline, and for this one I'm gonna add a new track, a float track, just a simple float, and I'm gonna call this alpha. Let's make the length 1 second. There we go. And now we need to add some keys here. To add a key, just hold shift and left click in the graph and you add a key. So for the first one, let's put this in the 0 time with a 0 value. Then let's add another key. So shift left click. This will be in the half here, so 0.5, 0.5, add a 1, and let's add another one. So just shift and left click This will be at 1, so the full length here, with a time of 0. To see all the graph here, just hit these 2 buttons here and you can see all the points. Okay, now we are seeing all the 3 points here. So as you can see, these lines are really straight and I want to make these curves more smooth. To do that, let's select all these 3 points here. Then right click and choose Auto. This will smooth a little bit these curves. How the timeline works. So based on time, we'll be getting some values. So if we are in the 0 here, the time is 0, we'll be getting a value of 0. If the time is 0.5, we'll be getting a value of 1. And if the time is 1, we'll be getting a value of 0. This will be the platform movement. So we start at the start position and slowly going to the end position and slowly going back to the start position. So when it reaches the start position, I want to start again the timeline. So for that, let's enable the loop here. Just hit that and you enable the loop. Let's compile and save and go back to the main graph. And as you can see, we have an alpha value here. This is the timeline alpha here that we created here, this value. So let's use this in a lerp node. Let's right click and type lerp. And as you can see, we have some options here for lerp. So we are trying to blend between 2 positions, the start position and the end position. These are vectors, positions are vectors, so we need to use the lerp vector. So let's type lerp, and under the vector here, you have the lerp vector. Let's add this one, and it needs a vector, a B vector, and an alpha. This alpha goes from 0 to 1. So when the alpha is 0, this node will return the A value. When the alpha is 1, actually, we'll be returning the B value. And values in between 0 and 1 will return values between A and B. That's why we make this timeline from 0 in the value to 1, then 0 again. So this node will return A when the time is 0, then B when the time reaches 0.5, and A again when reaches 1 here, and just start over because we enabled the loop. So let's do that. Let's put the alpha in the alpha here, and the A will simply be the start position. So let's grab the start position and grab the world location of it. So world location, this will be the A. And for the B, the same thing with the end position. So let's grab the end position and get world location. There we go. Now we can put this here. And of course, we need to set the platform's position based on the return value here. So let's grab this cube, which is the platform. Actually, let's rename this to SM platform, so it's better for us to understand, and of course it already updates the reference here. So now in this platform, let's set the world location, and we're gonna set world location every time this timeline updates. So let's grab the update here and put here in this set world location node, and the new location will be this one in the lerp here. Okay, so now if we go here to the level and hit play, you'll be seeing the platform moving. As you can see, it's going from the start to the end position and the start again, and just repeating because the timeline is looping. But as you can see, this is really fast. It's doing all the movement in just 1 second. So let's create a way of changing the time of this movement. To do that, we need to go back here to the platform. Let's select this part of the code here. Let's put to the side so we make some room here. And to do that, we need to change the play rate of this timeline. So as I mentioned before, this is a component, so we can get a reference to it anytime. It is located here in the variables components. We have the platform movement component. Let's get a reference to this. And from this, we can set the play rate. So just type set play, and you find this timeline set play rate node here. Let's add this. Let's connect the execution pins here. There we go. And now we need to decide what is the new rate. To do that, let's create a new variable here. Let's create a new variable. Let's call this movement time in seconds. There we go. This will be the type of float, so just hit that and change it to float if it's not already in. So let's compile this to change the default value. Let's put 1 for now, and let's get a reference to this. So to calculate the new rate, we need to divide. We need to do a divide here. So let's add a divide node. There we go. And we need to put this into the second pin of this divide. And the first one is just 1, value of 1. So when the time here, the time in seconds is 1, this will be 1 divided by 1, which is 1. So the new rate will be 1, so the normal rate. But if we put the time here in 2 seconds, this will be 1 divided by 2, which is 0.5. That means that we doubled the time of the timeline because we're halving the play rate. So that is the calculations. That is all we need to do here. Let's connect these results into the new rate here. Let's compile and save. Actually, we need to make this variable instance editable. So let's just select the variable and enable this option. Now let's compile and save. So if you go back to the level and select the platform, you will see that we have this value here, the movement time in seconds, which is 2 seconds now. So if we hit play, this will take 2 seconds to make the full movement. So go from the start position and come back to the start position in 2 seconds, as you can see. If you select this and change this to 5 seconds, for example, and we hit play, this will take 5 seconds. So that's how you can create, you can change the time of the movement here. And that's all. So if we select this blueprint and select the end position, for example, we can change this position to anywhere we want. So if we put, for example, like here, open this wall here, there you go, and we hit play, the platform will do this movement, as you can see. So with just this blueprint, you can copy this, and let's put it maybe here in this wall. So now we can just select this blueprint, select here in the details, select the start position, let's put it in the same position here. The end position I'm gonna put like here, upper this wall. And if we hit play, this platform will already do this movement, so it's dynamic. You can change the start and the end position to anywhere you want. And of course, you can change the value. So if you do want this platform to be faster, you just need to change this time in seconds. So let's put maybe 2 seconds for this one, and this one remains in 5 seconds. So if you do hit play now, you can see this platform is a little bit faster than the other one. Let's just create a new one here so we can change its value to maybe 10 seconds, and you'll see this platform will be a lot slower than the other one. There we go. And yeah, that's all for the platforms. I just want to add one more thing here. If we go back here to the editor, we can see that all the platform previews are enabled, like are visible right now. And I want to add a way of disabling the previews that I don't want to see. So to do that, let's go back to the platform here. We're gonna do this in the construction script. So the construction script is the code that runs inside the editor. So if we change a variable here, the construction script will run. Even if we move the actor around the scene, the construction will run again. So let's do this here. So I just want to create a new variable. Let's call this show preview. Let's call this show preview, and let's change its type to Boolean, so it's true or false. Let's compile, and for now let's enable by default. Now we just need to get a reference to this in the construction here and make a branch. There you go. Let's connect to the execution pin, and if show preview is true, we need to enable the previews here, so the start and the end position. So to do that, let's grab from the start first and let's set the visibility. If it's true, we need to set the visibility to true. We want to show the preview. There you go. Let's do the same for the end. So from the end, let's set visibility. There we go. This will be true again. Let me put this down here. There we go. And if this is false, I want to set the visibility again. So set visibility, but this time the new visibility will be false. Let's connect the false here to the execution pin, and let's do the same for the end position. So set visibility. There we go. This will be false again. And that's all actually. So if we compile and save now, and if we select this platform, and here in the okay, I forgot, we need to make this show preview instance editable, so we can edit from the editor there. So let's enable the instance editable. Let's compile, save, go back here, and as you can see, we have this show preview enabled. But if we disable this, the previews are gone. We're not seeing them, but they are there. So if we hit play, the platform still works, as you can see. And of course, you can jump in the platform and move with it. There you go. And you can do the same for the other one. So if you select this and disable the show preview, the previews are gone as well. And anytime if you want to see again, just select and enable the show preview, and the preview will be showing. There we go. And yeah, that's all for today's tutorial. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button. This helps me a lot. And if you don't want to lose any new tutorial that I'll be releasing in this channel, subscribe so you don't lose any of them. As always, thank you for watching, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.